Hey YouTube, Jason here. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be going over the steps and processes that I take to find topics to write articles about in order to rank high on Google, to bring leads and clients to my clients' businesses. Hopefully, this video will help you in your topic research and your keyword research. Because those two things are very important in terms of building your SEO and organic content strategy for your business or your clients. This series of videos on my YouTube channel will essentially be showing you how I did it and how I got my law firm clients to rank number one, not page one, but rank number one on multiple of their targeted search terms. So without further ado, I'll just dive right in. You'll see on my page on the screen that there's 5 topics. So I've already done the research and the keyword research to come up with these 5 topics. I did this research yesterday and actually recorded a 90-minute video, but I didn't think people would want to sit on a computer for 90 minutes to watch me do this. If you are interested, just leave a comment down below and I'll post it. So these are the 5 topics. How I started finding these topics is firstly trying to understand more about the area of law that or the topic that I'm trying to write articles for. So a bit of background is I recently was engaged by another law firm to build their digital presence through digital marketing and SEO. They specifically want to increase the number of clientele and the number of work that come to them for charity law and not-for-profit law. And so I had to educate myself on the most common sort of topics. What are the most common sort of issues and questions that clientele actually care about when they're looking for law firms to help them with charity or not-for-profit law. So the way I began the topic and keyword research to find the topics that I should be writing about is I did a quick Google of charity law. Specifically, I was Googling how to start a charity. That's because I imagined that this is a question that many people wanting to start a charity would be Googling. They want to find out a bit more about how to start a charity. It's a good it's a general sort of topic that my clients should be writing about because by having these general topics, it really establishes the client as an expert in this area of law, that they do charity law, that they have expertise and they know what to do. So that's why I started off with Googling how to start a charity. And what I first realized was, skipping over the ads, what I first realized was that the first few search results were all government websites. And then as we scroll down, some of these search results were from charity websites, and then there were a few websites that were from law firms. There's another government website here, Australian Taxation Office. So what I first realized when I first Googled this search term is it's pretty high competition. I didn't have to do any keyword research or anything like that to find that out. The reason is because the government websites, they dominate the first second search result. It's because the government websites dominate the top of the search results, which means that it's very difficult to rank above them. Because it's a government website, Google treats them as a topical authority on this type of on this search result. So on this search term, so Google is very unlikely to rank a third party. Google is very unlikely to rank a third party or a non-government website above a government website. So that contributes to the high competition of this search term, which means it's actually harder to write an article that ranks highly. Again, there's also what I also realized was that there were a few. There's a broad range of organizations that are ranking for this search term. So we're not just competing with law firms, we're also competing with the government, as well as non-law firm, non-government websites like charities, for example. Philanthropy Australia is a big charity in Australia, so that's another competitor that we have to compete with to rank highly on. So those are bad things, right? So that's what I first realized. I was like, oh, that's not great. I probably shouldn't be writing an article for this. However, what I then realized was a lot of these articles, especially the ones sort of in the middle and downwards, they all have one weakness, or they have a few weaknesses which our article will be able to target and do better in order to rank higher. And that is, when we look at each of these search results, none of them have, there's one thing that's missing, and that is they're missing tables and infographics. So lesson number 1, I guess, is that Google really likes infographics and tables and lists in highly ranking articles. They treat those elements as signals of a more helpful and easier to read article, which will help their which will help the Google users to have a better experience when they look at the search results that Google recommends them. So Google likes to rank articles, content that has lists, infographics, and tables, and videos and images. So this is a competition research phase where we're researching the competition and seeing what we can do better. And it's clear as we go through is that we could certainly do better in terms of writing a longer article. We could do better in terms of having an infographic. We could do better in terms of having a video, which I probably wouldn't do because I don't have time to write a video, to create a video. But we can also create a simple table, right? These are, for example, on converting something to a table, is that this is a list format. So this is an existing article that ranks on the first page. This is a list format, 1 to 14. We could just put that into a table, or we can have this in a table, and that would mean that Google would see this, will see our article as more helpful theoretically, because you have a table which Google would think is more helpful for their search users, and hence would rank us highly. So and so that gives me confidence. That gave me confidence in targeting this search term and writing an article on how to start a charity. So that's how it determined topic number 1. Topic number 2, starting a charity checklist. So what I then realized after figuring out topic number 1 is, yes, there are steps on. I'm just looking at the competition again. There are steps in these articles about how to start a charity, right? So with these articles on how to start a charity, there is quite a lot of background detail that's not entirely relevant on how to start a charity, right? So there's information here about what is a charity, what does not-for-profit mean, right? How to define a charitable purpose, and it's a lot. And actually, when you look at this article, for example, how to set up a charity, this is only 10% of the actual entire article, but it's this particular section that people are Googling to find out an answer to. So and so if you want to structure an article that answers how to start a charity, I would write an article that goes over how to start a charity, just the steps on how to start a charity, nothing else. But what's also important is a checklist of considerations, right? A checklist of considerations that someone starting a charity should think about. Those things, the considerations, is different to the steps of starting a charity. Starting a charity, the article I'll be writing about, is the actual steps that someone needs to take to start a charity, right? So that article, this topic number 1, will be targeting the people who want concrete steps on how to start a charity, right? This topic number 2 is for people who want to know what to consider when they're starting a charity. So that's why I phrased this topic as starting a charity checklist. And when I Googled, so when I came up with this topic, I then Googled starting a charity checklist. And again, I had a look at and this is a common theme, I had a look at the different competitors that are ranking high, such as the government websites at the beginning, and then a few of these other competitors. And I again did some competitor research to see what is missing, what we can do better, what they did better that we could copy as well. So let's have a look. So this article from Sharrock Pittman Legal, which is a law firm, is a checklist, right, for starting a charity. So again, we could see here that yes, it's written quite well and easy to understand, because when you look at the English, it's very simple and very short and big titles. So that's very helpful. So we'll certainly write an article in similar writing style, but they're missing an infographic and they're missing a table. I don't even think they have an image. Oh, they have an image here, the feature image. So we could certainly do better than them and probably rank higher than them if we write a longer article with a bit more keywords, which we'll be using Neuron Writer to do, but also including tables and infographics as well. So that's the first competitor. Let's have a look at another competitor. This competitor is a bit worse because they don't, even though it's a checklist, they said it's a checklist, they don't have any numbering, which means that it's harder for an audience to understand what is a step, which step should I take, what's the order of the steps that I should take, which checklist item is more important than the next one, right? So and I think that is why this article is ranked lower than this article. I can do a deep dive of what separates a good article from a bad article in another video. Tell me if that's something that you'll be interested in knowing. But we'll certainly be needing to include numbered items for each of the checklist items in the article that we're writing. So that would help us rank higher. So again, this is keyword. This is competition research, right? So here, is another. This is another competitor. What's not something that we should avoid is these strikeouts. It's very confusing as to whether the user should be taking this information seriously if they're striking out information throughout the whole article. It's like, so how it makes us question how outdated is the article. What happens if I click on this link? Should I even click on this link? Can I trust the links that's been stricken out? Right. So that's certainly something that we want to avoid. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, this one is good in the sense that it has numbers that that identify each of the checklist items when starting a charity. Unfortunately, there's a lot of paragraphs, so it's harder to read because it's like big chunks of words, big wall of text, and so that's probably why it's ranked even lower. I think that's ranked even lower. So that's something that we want to avoid, but it's something that we know we could do better in when we write our own article for this topic. And the last one that we'll have a look at is from this website here. Again, they have something that we want to avoid doing, but which we know we can do better in, which is numbering of each of the checklist items. Also, their paragraph structure looks very dense. It's just like one block at a time. Like they should have separated this into different sentences into different lines, but they just put it all into one block. So it's difficult to read. And also, again, they don't have an infographic. They don't have a table. They don't even have a list here. So it means that we're able to rank. I'm very confident that if we are to write an article for this topic, we'll be able to rank highly for this search term, because we've had a look at the competition and we've seen what they've done well in and what they haven't done very well in, and so we can improve on them. Topic number 3 is what is a deductible gift recipient and its benefits. And actually related to that, topic number 4, how to become a deductible gift recipient as a non-for-profit or charity. And you notice that both of these topics are targeting the same search term, right? Which is deductible gift recipient. So how did I firstly find this search term? Why am I targeting this search term? Well, speaking with a client in the initial meeting that we had, they advised me that deductible gift recipient is a status of a charitable organization that's really important for not just a charitable organization, but it's also important for the people donating to the charity organization. And just a small lesson in law, in Australian charity law, I guess, is that if a charitable organization is a deductible gift recipient, which is an official government status, then people who donate to these charitable organizations will be able to essentially pay less tax. And that means more people will want to donate to a DGR status charitable organization. But it also means that a charity that has DGR status will receive more donations from their donors, because it provides a tax benefit to the donors who are donating money to them. And so it's a very important status that a lot of charitable organizations would want to achieve. And there are certain regulations and certain criteria and rules that need to be met for a charitable organization to be considered a deductible gift recipient. And so that's why it's a very important topic. And again, this is something that you'll only be able to find out if you have industry knowledge, which I didn't. So I had to talk to my client and find out more information about what's important to their clients, what's important to them, what are some common issues and questions that our law firm clients ask about. And this topic about becoming a deductible gift recipient is one of those topics. So that's what triggered me to search for deductible gift recipient. And to think of it as a topic. So I recommend you finding a lot more information from your clients in your niche about what's important to their clients or their customers, and really doing that research, right? It really is doing a lot of research. And this is organic research, not from a spreadsheet. And that's something that I'll always stick to for now, I guess, unless someone shows me a better way, right? So if I Google deductible gift recipient, actually no, let me Google how to become a deductible gift recipient charity. This is the first search term that I Googled in relation to this topic, because my rule of thumb is always try to rank highly for a search term that is addressing a specific question or an issue. And in this case, I anticipate how to become a deductible gift recipient charity is going to be an important question that a lot of my law firm's clients will care about. So that's why I Googled this first. And I had a look at the search results, again, the competitors, and as you'll be able to see, that there are still a lot of government websites that are ranking highly. I think most of, like 80% of the search results for this specific question is dominated by government websites. As I said before, government websites are very difficult to outrank if you're not a government yourself, which I assume you're not. And so, because 80% of the first page for this search result is government, I decided not to target this particular search term. The other reason why I didn't target this particular search term is because the search volume is also very low. So what I did do is I went to Keyword Revealer and I checked the volume of search, the search volume for this keyword, and there's none. And so what that means is, obviously, it doesn't mean that no one's Googling this. It just means that it's so low that I guess Keyword Revealer can't really find a volume of searches for this keyword. And so that's not ideal, right? We want to. So lesson number 2, I guess, is when I'm coming up with topics, there's 2 main purposes that a topic or an article should serve. It's either or. It's either to write an article that will rank highly for a search term that has high volume of searches in order for the website to receive as much organic traffic as they can from the search volume. So that's purpose number 1 of choosing a topic to write about. The second reason is we want to increase the topical authority of our client in this area of law. How do you build topical authority, right? It means you have to have a lot of articles on one specific topic. And you can only achieve that when you have a good mix of both articles that are very generic, articles which a lot of people are Googling, but also a good mix of articles which are very niche and targeted in the issues and questions, and so it's something that will indicate to Google that this website or your law firm client or my law firm client is an expert in this topic, because they have a wide range of topics. They have a wide range of articles on this specific topic. Those are the 2 reasons that we want to write about a particular topic in an article. So this topic number 3 and topic number 4, because it's clear that the search volume is very low, the reason why we want to write these 2 topics is not because we want to get organic traffic, but rather we want to increase the topical authority for our client in this area of law. So why did I choose this search term instead? So you can see here, you notice that deductible gift recipient is a different search term. The reason why I did that is because if I'm going to be writing this topic anyways, rather optimize it for a key search term that has higher volume. I might as well, right? If the actual topic receives very low volume of searches, I might as well optimize it in Neuron Writer and try to get it ranking high for a broader search term that has higher volume. In this case, this search term has 720 searches a month, which is a lot. And so that's the reason why I'm optimizing both of these topics, topic 3 and topic 4, for this deductible gift recipient. The other reason why I have 2 topics targeting the same search term is because this search term is very broad. When I Google this search term, you'll be able to see that there's a whole mix of articles that target different intentions of someone Googling this search term. So that's the thing with short tail keywords, is that they're very broad, and so the people who are Googling this can have multiple different intentions. So it's difficult to write an article or a topic that addresses that person's specific intentions because the search term is not specific. That is opposed to long tail key key search terms like how to become a deductible gift recipient charity. This is long term because this is long tail because it also asks one specific question. It's specific to a topic that you can then write an article about. So that's the reason. So with these broad search terms that have a non-defined or non-specific intention, we want to rank as many topics as we can. We want to rank as many articles as we can, addressing multiple different possible intentions of people Googling this search term. Which is why you'll see here, topic 3 is about what is a deductible gift recipient and the benefits that they provide to the donors and to the charitable organization. So that is addressing the intention of someone Googling this term, or the intention of what is it? What is DGR? Right? That's the intention of someone Googling DG. Or that's one of the intentions of someone Googling this search term. One of the other intentions of people Googling this search term is how do you become a deductible gift recipient as a not-for-profit or charitable organization? Right? Those are 2 separate intentions which are likely to lead someone to Google the search term, which is why we want to write 2 articles addressing the 2 separate intentions but ranking highly for this high volume search term. So hopefully that makes sense. Topic 5, and this is the last topic, is how to register as a charity. So how did I find this topic? I found this topic not by Googling or by asking people or anything. I actually found it by looking at a few competitive websites. So there's this one here from birchgrovelegal.com.au. They have an insights library, but there's also Sherrick Pittman Legal. So I came across these guys organically when I was searching, and then I realized that they have articles on charity law. And so what I did for this topic is I essentially just looked through each of the articles that they have written about charity law, and I tried to quote unquote steal their topic. I'm not gonna sit here and show you me scrolling these pages, but I essentially did scroll these pages and see what type of topics that these competitive law firms were writing about, and one of those topics was how to register as a charity. I was essentially curious about that topic and wondering if that is a good topic to write about, so I googled it and I had a look at the competitors. I can see here that yes, the top half of the search results are dominated by government websites, and then the last half is really dominated by not dominated, but they do have a few law firms ranking. And so when I look at, again, this is the competitive research phase, when I look at the non-government website search results for this search term, I have a look at how well the article is written. So this one's pretty short. This is a pretty short article, and actually not that great because it's very short, doesn't have any infographics or lists or tables. So that gives me confidence that I could write an article that would rank on the first page. Maybe not above the existing government websites, but certainly in the middle of the page, maybe above some of these non-government websites. Have a look at another one. So this one is not even an article. This is a landing page for a law firm, and so I could certainly write an article that would rank highly, or at least above this page, because I'll be able to use Neuron Writer to include more keywords. I'll be able to include infographics and tables, and essentially just write an article that's more helpful for someone who wants to register as a charity. And then this is a PDF, which it's very long, but because it's long, it's difficult to read. And so I'm quite confident that I'll be able to write an article that will rank on the first page for this search term, how to register as a charity. One last thing I would check is I'll look at the search volume to really help me understand whether I'll be writing this topic mainly to get organic traffic from high search volume keyword, which unfortunately this one isn't. This is only 90 per month, which is all right. It's to help me determine what purpose I'm writing this topic about. So clearly, because the search volume is rather low, the main purpose of this article then is really to ensure that we have a topic on our client's website that directly answers how to register as a charity, in case someone wants to know how to register as a charity. Hopefully this video was helpful in helping you determine which topics to write about for your clients or for your own business, as well as giving you the thought process behind why these topics were chosen and how to choose good topics to write about. In the next video, I'll be showing you how I come up with the outlines for each of these topics, because the outlines are also very important when writing a high ranking article. So stay tuned for that. Apologies for the long video, everyone. I'll try to keep the next one shorter. But yeah, just leave a comment down below or feel free to send me a message. I'm happy to chat and help anyone out. Thanks everyone. Bye.